God, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell thee say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich.
And guess what? Hey, that's what they say when they pray to their God, or whoever they're praying to. They thank him for giving them an abundance of riches, man. All of these companies, these big Fortune 500 companies, these people that make billions of dollars off of them, how you think they got started, man? What do you think were the first commodities that was sold in America? What do you think were the first commodities that was sold on the New York Stock Exchange? It was your black ass, man. Your people, man. But yet you got these crackers, they feeling like how they felt back in the 60s, the 50s, and the 40s, you know, back back all the way, you know, back down memory lane, man. They're getting back in their true nature, man. And their true nature is to hate you, man. They never gave a fuck about you. Just because they were smiling in your face, man, all the time they want to take your place.
And their own shepherds pity them not.
And your own shepherds pity you not. Where are your shepherds? Where are your people to rise up to tell you that this man is your enemy, man? Where are those ancient men that are supposed to be set up to tell you that this man is your enemy? But yet they teach you, your shepherds, your Reverend Runs, I mean your Jesse Jacksons, Al Sharptons. They trying to kill your spirit, man. They're trying to dilute your spirit when you get in that spirit of rising up and hating this devil, man.
Go ahead. This is Ecclesiasticus, Wisdom of Sirach. I'm gonna start at chapter 12.
And when they do speak, they grab scriptures like how that Peruvian just grabbed that scripture in Galatians talking about to love your enemy. When I'm trying to tell him that Esau is your fucking enemy, man. According to the Bible, he's your sworn enemy. When the brother finished with his precept, can you grab that in Ezekiel, the 35th chapter?
Ezekiel, verse 5. Okay. Ezekiel 12 and Ecclesiastes, Sirach 12 and 10. Sirach 12 and 10. Oh yeah. God, this is Sirach 12 and 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy."
That's right.
For like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Salakia, and if those ancient Native Americans were here today, you know which they are, because there's a such thing as reincarnation. They'll tell you, do not trust this devil, man.
Well, we talking about the Gadites, but the Gadites took Negroes into slavery too. So that's why they're going into this peril that they've been going through all these damn times. That's why they're going on the reservations. You know, they took slaves from the so-called white man also. That's why they're going through this hell too. Get the worst land. They did it. You know, you can't forget that part.
Yeah, Jacob, like the white man was doing Jacob. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they felt sedity.
And those the same spirit of those Israelites that's trying to still function in the society today. You know, because when you come back, you have the same spirit. You just don't have a remembrance of former things. So you don't remember your past life. You know, but you still got that same spirit, man.
Right. So, you know, that's why the Most High is bringing their ass to that hell they going through. Right now, even in Dakota, the land, the reservations, you know, more drug use, well, still huffing and shit, alcohol. Right. This says, never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away.
Because speaking on that, because sometimes you see people, they try to put on that front, but you know, certain people, they can see through it, and they'll leave the game alone with them. They'll just keep playing it with somebody else. But with this person, they can see through that bullshit. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know, I see it. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to play that humble role.
It says, verse 12, it says, set him not by thee. Don't be by his ass. It's lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And I could go and back into the like in England, even over here, where we let them come into the king's court and start marrying them into in England, where they eventually got the reins, and now they calling themselves the royal family. When the line wasn't even that, right? It wasn't even for them. It was for that. It was for those Anglo-Saxons, the real Anglo-Saxons, the angelic sons of Isaac. And that's the problem. We don't know that in 1900, around 1900, was the last Israelite queen that was sitting on the throne. So they don't tell you none of that. You think it's all Edomites. It's just really it's finished off. And I think she's the grandmother of Queen Elizabeth or something like that. I'm not sure, but she's still on the line of the queens. Because what they did was, that's why that if your mother was a Jew, thing come up. Because the queen who was in that time, who reigned down over in England, the last one, she was basically a queen, and they knew she was a Jew. And so that bloodline basically, they claim that your mother had to be a Jew, stuff going on. I'm just, that's what I'm figuring, because that's crazy.
They got a show on Netflix about her, how they keep passing it down throughout the generations and stuff, how them women was wicked. Pretty much they had to raise them up a certain way, and they weren't allowed to do all type of stuff, so they was always doing shit like bitches do. Doing shit, sneaking out, doing bullshit, then they gotta cover it up,
Right.
Like a Romeo.
Just like that Diana bitch. She got caught committing adultery, they had to kill her.
Right. And she knew
she had got pregnant.
And she got pregnant. And she didn't, and how do you divorce a prince?
Yeah. You can't, you're gonna die. That's what time.
She didn't think about it. She thought she was slick. A woman is always, their integrity is her logic is fucked up, and her integrity is always low, because they do stuff in the parameter of not having no integrity. Yeah. Verse 12 again. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at thy last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
Yep, that's the Thanksgiving scripture right there. You sit down with him, and then he's gonna take your seat like a Native American.
That's editions of Esther too, with Haman.
Yep.
Isn't that the guy's name?
Yeah.
Haman. How he was trying to. Matter of fact, can you grab that if you know where it is? I think it's in 11. It may be in 11 or 16. Which this devil, which was a so-called white man, they took him into the Persian Empire, man, and they allowed him to be as one as them. Actually, he was like, I think the scripture said he was like one of our fathers, man.
He was like second in command. He was like second in command.
Yeah, he was like second in command, but he was using that power to try to overthrow them, because at that time there was battles going on between the Greeks and also between the Persians, man. And what he did was, when you go into history and you research it, it all leads up into the Spartans in the 300s fighting at the Battle of Thermopylae, man. That's how you know that these scriptures is true, because that history lines up.
Right, verse 13. Who would put a snake charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast? Right, who gonna spit a snake charmer? You know
the serpent.
Right, and he considers the serpent in the Bible. And a snake charmer, he playing that music, and then eventually the snake bite him anyway. Hey, you knew he was a snake? That's a damn wild animal. That's what it said. As it continued on the scripture, it says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or such as come nigh wild beasts? So who
like them Edomites that go out into the jungle,
right,
to filming lions and
right.
shit.
Then like my man got kicked stabbed in the chest, with the
alligator.
Steve Irwin, You can't pity somebody. Like, you knew it was an animal.
God.
You knew it was a wild beast. That's what the snake is. So who stupidly, you messing with wild beasts and you think you ain't gonna get bite? Eventually, one day, you know, your dog is becomes a wild beast. You ain't think that dog done snapped at you once or twice? Shit. All right.
And that's what God did. You know, they befriended the so-called white man, which was their enemy, man. Which is the enemy of the world, man.
Well, Cortez came through, and one of the northern tribes, it was the Aztecs. Which is Issachar. Cortez came in, and the king's brother was like, don't let this dude in. The king was like, here's my coat, here's my royal apparel. They greeted him with basically brotherly love, and look what happened. They fucking put him in slavery, and had him picking gold.
Khan, that's
That goes to show you that even back then there was a misconception of what the word love is. You know, the love is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and to fear Him wholeheartedly, not to just this bullshit that goes around nowadays.
Verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him is his sin, who will pity? Let me read it again. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sin, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. Because hey, if you ever had somebody that you have somebody that you'll find out eventually he's your brother, or he's not your brother, or he's not saying you have to fall, but you can. If some peril happened, oh man, I can't even be around you, know, man. Oh man, all right, man, I'm gonna get out with you, knowing you in destitute. That ain't what Joel's friends did. They went there and sat with him, and they stayed quiet for a couple of days.
7 days.
Yeah. An enemy speaking sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee into a pit.
And that's what happened to the Native American Indians. They got thrown into pits. Those reservations ain't nothing but pits, man. You know, and then they got a shrinking treaty, basically with a so-called white man. If he want to, he can shrink their reservations down to where they don't have no land left. Yeah, roll your window back up, man. You know, roll your window back up, because you don't want to hear what your people did to our people. But guess what? The Most High Heavenly Father who is in heaven, his name is Yahweh, and he's just, man. And he's going to pay you back for what you've done.
That's right!
For what your people done. They got a shrinking treaty to where they can shrink the land, man.
They're right. They said every treaty they made with
they broke, man. And then the land that they living in, or the places that they live in, it ain't nothing, man. It's a shithole. It's the worst land, man. But now they're trying to come through with a pipeline and by them taking that pipeline through their water, you know, the only reliable drinking source that they have, it's to contaminate it, man. That goes to show you that you cannot trust a devil, man. You cannot trust a so-called white man.
That's right.
Verse 15. For a while verse 16.
You're going into slavery.
An enemy speaking sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
God.
So they won't. Hey, even if they slaughter you, that ain't it.
That ain't enough.
Damn, that means you already dead. They still want more after that.
They still beating your dead corpse, man.
Exactly. That's why it's continuing on to this day. It continues on to this day, to this point in this day, because they took away, they killed you, but still, hey, it's still affecting your children from couple hundred years afterwards.
God, isn't that part of his blessing? God. That he'll be blessed with the sword until he subdued the heavens above and the dew, you know, from below. The scripture talks about how he enlargeth his desires as hell, you know, and he can never be satisfied.
Verse 17. Verse 17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. So he the one that's going to be basically the one doing it. And though he pretend to help thee, so hey, that's beautiful. He said if he pretend to help thee, because like in not Katrina, that earthquake over there in Haiti, he came like he acted like he was helping them. But what he was doing was he was taking the bodies, he was taking the children, he was taking the organs out of the bodies, and selling them on the black market. He came to just to reap off of that situation, not to help you. Because what happened with the Red Cross? The Red Cross basically was they got over 400 million, but they only obligated to give them 3% of that money. So only if it was 3%, they only gave them 0.5% of that money, because Haiti's still in peril at this point. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He shall shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. All right. So
it changed his countenance. That's what these devils are doing right now, man. Since Trump got into office, they've been changing their countenance. All of that friendly shit is going out the window, man. These devils are starting to show their horns again, which I love, because who wants to be around the devil that's hiding his horns? So that